Captain Cool, and the Bandiman Bailey Lowery. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Captain Cool.
Hello and welcome in to the Morning Blitz. John Abraham, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandiman Bailey Lowery.
Hey.
Here on a tipsy Tuesday in no man's land. And Bandy, we got a few things to get into today. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, whether we're talking the NFL, whether we're talking about college men's basketball, whether we're hopping around, and maybe even getting into a little bit of golf. But we're going to start off today's conversation because I stopped yesterday and I wanted to get into this. The Bills' playoff history compared to the Cowboys' playoff history, and just how devastating it is to be in either one of these two fan bases. And I gotta admit, it's never been good to be a Bills fan. You know, at least for Cowboys, they had a few stints where they were really good. For the Bills, they've always kind of been that team that was beat up on, even when they did get to the Super Bowl, and we're going to definitely hop into that. We're also going to be hopping into a conversation with one Mr. Joe Hunk from 104.5 The Zone in at Nashville to talk about their Tennessee Titans new hire. Yeah, it's going to be a different Tennessee Titans football team.
Yeah.
This is not going to be Mike Vrabel's, hard, right up the trenches type of football team. I don't know exactly how it's going to go for Tennessee, but we're going to figure it out with one Mr. Joe Hunk when he breaks it down for us, because that team's going to look totally different. On top of that, we look over at some other things in the world. Coaches getting, let go left and right.
Yep. Eagles are also just completely...
They're changing. They're changing everything.
Yeah, what's the word for it? Just cleaning house?
I would say cleaning house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not completely. Not like we've seen other teams do before in the past, but they're definitely getting a little remodeling done.
Yeah, Sirianni's still there, but offensive coordinator's out, defensive coordinator's out. It's going to be, and the defensive play caller's out too. So, again.
And on top of that,
New look.
And on top of that, we look over at the Buccaneers, and Bandy, I talked about this yesterday. Me and you obviously had a really nice day. We played, Mario Wonder.
Yeah.
Very nice, very pleasant game. First time I got to play it. It was a good time. Tomorrow we're going to go to the movies. We're going to watch a new Gurren Lagann movie. It's not new. It's not new at all, but it's, something we get to go and do, so that's going to be fun. But I look over at this Buccaneers, questionable call to get a timeout or not get a timeout. To timeout or not timeout. That's the question. And yeah, I gotta say, everybody's kind of baffled about this one when it comes down to it, because you look over at what Todd Bowles was doing, and it's almost like he was, twiddling his fingers, twiddling his thumbs. He just did not pay attention to the timeout that he had on his team. And the time winds down, and he doesn't call it. And people are questioning why he doesn't call it, because Jared Goff takes a knee with only 35 seconds left.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, well, they're kind of in field goal range, but it's still going to be a long field goal. It's like, why isn't he calling it? Well, he said after the game, and this is a bizarre reason for not calling a timeout. Even in Madden, we're calling as many timeouts as we can. As long as we can get to the last second and have at least one play, that's all that matters, okay? And what happened was Todd Bowles, his reasoning to not calling that timeout was they already had, this quote, they already had a field goal lined up, and it would have been about 12 seconds left on the clock to end the ball game. We weren't going to come back from that. No sense in prolonging the obvious. Now look, I will give many praise to this Buccaneers team for getting Baker Mayfield, getting all these other guys, rebounding after losing Tom Brady, and going all the way to the playoffs, and winning a playoff game, and then losing to a good Lions team. I'll give a lot of praise to this team, all right? But I won't give praise to a coach that's not giving it his all for his team, just listening to the coordinators. 12 seconds probably going to be left on the board.
Yep.
If they let the clock run out, they didn't. Call that timeout. Let them attempt a field goal from 49 yards out, which, by the way, Lions kicker doesn't make them all, and throw the ball down the field. Tie the game up, take the overtime. You've got a hell of a game. It was a great game. Don't get me wrong, okay? Yeah. Lions kind of pulled away at the end. But the Buccaneers got it back, and they should have been able to do something with it. But no.
And it was unfortunate for Baker Mayfield, too, because he was playing pretty solid, but those 2 interceptions he had were crucial.
Oh, yeah. The first one bounced right off a guy's hands, right into the defender's arms, and they were able to catch it. Second one, I mean, this is just typical. Yeah. This is just typical Baker Mayfield, throwing it right to the dude. And I know there's a wide receiver behind it, but come on.
In crunch time.
It's crunch time. It's Baker, crunch time Mayfield. He's not clutch. That's the problem the Browns had with him, and that's the problem a lot of other teams are going to have with him. And I got to say, I will give him a few claps for taking this team to the playoffs because he was able to do it by himself. They didn't need 5 quarterbacks to do that. They just needed one Mr. Baker Mayfield. He was able to take him there, and just coach didn't rely on his team enough, and it all went topsy-turvy right out the gate. Now, I'm upset with that, Bandy. I'm upset with that. But you know what I'm not upset with? You know what I'm not upset with?
What are you not upset with?
I'm not upset. Actually, you know what? I am upset with this. And I know we got to talk about this Buffalo's history.
I'll tell you something I'm upset with.
What are you upset with?
A little some NBA action, but hey, what are you mad about first?
I am pretty mad at just college football as a whole, okay? And I know I shouldn't be that mad. I shouldn't be that upset. But, you know, you get all these donors. You know, you've always had people, you know, giving money to the schools. And there's a reason why Ohio State's able to get a lot of the good stuff, all right? They're able to get a lot of the good players. They're bringing in Junkins, you know, money bags. They're bringing in Seth McLaughlin, bringing in Caleb Downs, absolute stud, Julian Sayin. This is a squad right here. There's a lot to like about Ohio State going into 2024. And some of the reason why they're able to get those players in isn't because, we got a good school. It's not because, we get to play up against Michigan. You guys will get a chance to beat Michigan, the team that beat you and held you out of the playoff, or the finals, the playoff championship, whatever they want to call it. And a lot of that money is coming from one quarterback in the NFL, rookie quarterback, just now out of the playoffs, C.J. Stroud. He's a platinum member.
A platinum member?
He's a platinum member.
A platinum member at Ohio State.
Of their donor group. C.J. Stroud.
There's tiers to this?
Oh, yeah. And, yeah, Bandy, there's tier to this thing.
Oh, my God.
And this man, I don't know if this is annually or if this is every once in a while, but, I mean, they posted about it. Oh, he's in the platinum card. He's got the platinum card, gold standard, all this stuff. I don't want to hear it.
The benefits of recognition. Oh, my goodness.
It's benefits that he would already get. Like getting a campus tour. He gets to walk through the facilities for the football team. He gets to meet the football players, you know, whenever. And he's contributing somewhere around $50,000 to $100,000 for this, which is not that much when you think about it. But depends on how often he does pay this much money. That's a 3-star right there, Bandy. That's a 3-star NIL. Just throw him in there, get him over to the team. That makes your team just that much better, okay? But the reasons behind it, I mean, you got to really love your school. And I love it. I respect whenever people are just, like, still giving back to the school that made them who they are.
Yeah.
But $50,000 to $100,000. We don't know which one he's going. It's somewhere between that much. He's giving that much money to Ohio State. He must love that college. He must be a huge fan of that football team. And we're going to see it all go into play in 2024. All $100,000 of what he's throwing, all the $100,000 other people are throwing. But it's just funny to see a football player that, you know, a former Ohio State Buckeye, paying his school, giving his school money for something that he's already able to do because of his name alone. Getting drafted, first round, first pick, all that stuff. You know he's going to be able to walk in there 70 years from now. Yeah. And they'll still be like, come on in, bro. You're in the Hall of Fame.
Be the Stroud family.
Come on in. It's totally fine. Oh, those $100,000 you paid us every single year? Nah, yeah. We're not going to give it back. But come on in. They're going to be extra friendly to him. It's just a funny thing to start off the show. I just like it. I just think it's funny. I think it's goofy. I hate it. Because it gets all these guys moving around. And it ruins what I loved about college football, which was players sticking to their team all the way to the end. And, you know, you get to see those stories of the Rudies. You don't get those. What if they made a Rudy adaptation in 2024, where it's literally just like JT. What is it? What's the guy that went to Rice? He went to West Virginia.
JT Daniels.
JT Daniels, where it's like, oh well, I mean, he got to start every single place he went, but if he didn't, he finally finds a school that'll let him play, and then he gets on the field for 2 plays, and he's like, well, that's why I did it. That's why I kept moving around. I needed to play. You don't stick with the team though.
I mean,
It's upsetting.
what if I told you I'm not the biggest fan of Rudy?
Wow, really?
Not a fan of the movie.
When was the last time you watched it?
Probably like 4 or 5 years ago.
No. Gonna have to watch it again.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
might
good-
have to,
it's
I
a
might have
good
to
film.
check it out, but
Tom knows the real Rudy.
at least the one from like the mid 2000s. I don't know if they've made another movie.
I don't think they have.
They haven't made another movie.
It would be news to me.
I don't think it was that good.
Okay, I'm all for it. It gets me emotional. Maybe it's just a football player thing. I don't know. I love this.
See, I'll watch Remember the Titans for that.
Okay. See, I think that one's over. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. That's a
We're gonna
great
go
one. We could go down the line of football movies again if we want. One of these Fridays, we'll do that again.
I respect it, but bold.
We got to re-up on it. Radio would definitely be up there. I would throw that one in there. There's a few other movies.
Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights. I like the show. I never watched the movie.
Ooh.
Remember the series that they came out with? Good
Yeah.
stuff. Either way, we're going to have to hop into a break. Enough of that tomfoolery we had in the first segment. That was just a lot of rambling, and I love it. But we're going to talk with Mr. Joe Hunk for some more rambling, but not about, anything we don't want to talk about right now. We're talking about a little bit of the NFL and what's going on with the Tennessee Titans coaching staff. So don't go anywhere, because you're listening to The Morning Blitz here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
It's time to get ready for game day. That means Alabama football and tailgating. Whether you're tailgating at home or at Bryant-Denny, visit Brooks & Collier for North Alabama's largest selection of premium grills and smokers like Big Green Egg, Blaze, Delta Heat, Memphis, and Traeger. Satisfy any palate with our wall of rubs and seasonings. For all your tailgating needs, visit Brooks & Collier at 813 Meridian Street or at brooksandcollier.com. An Alabama tradition for over 75 years. Roll Tide.
Don't miss out on limited-time appliance deals during the closeout event at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $100 when you spend $999 or more on all major appliances. Hurry, these deals are too good to last long. Shop in-store or online today, because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 1/4 through 1/24. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Each week, check out our latest zone deal online at 977ESPN.com.
I'm eating good food.
We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
It's a great song to play when we got Joe Hunk on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. If you guys don't know, song's all about fire, and it's about to get hot here in No Man's Land. Welcome back to the Morning Blitz. John Abraham, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandiman, Bailey Lowery.
Hello.
And it's time to get into a little bit of the NFL talk because, college football, it never truly sleeps, but it does take a little bit of time to where we just kind of want to turn our tides to the football world because the playoffs are buzzing right now. And we got to talk with one Mr. Joe Hunk because I want to talk a little bit about the playoffs. I want to talk a little bit about Titans' new coaching search that I think they found the answer. I believe they found the answer for one side of the ball, and that's the offense. I don't know what they're going to do on defense, and that's why we got Joe Hunk from 104.5 The Zone in Nashville on with us. Joe, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. Apparently, I'm excited because I'm already up in Nashville, and I'm ready to go for this Brian Callahan.
Heck yeah.
That is apparently about to start.
Yeah, and we'll hop into that here in a second. I want to know, though, right off the bat, I know you've been enjoying the playoffs. I want to know, what you've liked, what you haven't liked, and which teams you think are going to end up making it to that Super Bowl to play up against each other. Just kind of give us a little bit of intel on what you've liked from this year's playoffs.
Detroit.
Yeah.
Seriously. Detroit is the answer. Like, look, I have plenty of connections to the Chiefs before many people in your building know that before COVID hit, I was supposed to move to KC.
Oh, geez.
And so I have a connection with the Chiefs. I've loved watching the Chiefs through the whole Mahomes era, and that is beautiful. But the Detroit Lions, man, that is I sit and I try to think to myself like the equivalent of this in other sports. Like, what is the equivalent of it in baseball? I would assume, or to me, almost like. I want to say the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
Like, I almost want to feel like that way. Like, they've lost for so long. And at times they were so unbearably bad that people were petitioning for them to be thrown off of the Thanksgiving Day game because they just got tired of watching how bad they are. And now you have this moment, this beautiful moment where during a football game, the Lions are playing, and they're playing in the playoffs, and they've already won one playoff game. And you've got Eminem in the suite, and you've got Lose Yourself playing, and the whole crowd is just singing the song like it's beautiful, like it really genuinely is. Like, and the crazy thing is it's mostly white people that are singing a rap song, which is so crazy to begin with.
Well, by a white guy.
And it's just, it is by a white guy, but arguably still the greatest rapper of all time.
Arguably,
and so it's like sitting here, you're just going, this is beautiful. Like, this is one of those moments that football and sports in general is just so amazing to watch. Like, I want them to go to the Super Bowl. We're like here. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons I'm going into work early is because we have a meeting today to prepare for us for getting ready for the Super Bowl because we're heading out there in a couple of weeks. And I want it to be Lions. Like, the 49ers are amazing, but I want it to be Detroit. I want Detroit in the Super Bowl just because I want 2 weeks of celebrating that city, which the city has been so god-awful for so long. Like, it has been so bad.
Yeah.
And, it's been the city has been bankrupt, and everybody in these houses that are all, dilapidated and need to be torn down. And now you have all these small business owners that have been taking these properties that they've gotten on the cheap because of it being Detroit. And they're turning this city around, and it's crazy to see how the city of Detroit itself is rebounding, and their team, the Detroit Lions, which has been bad for decades, is winning right now. It's hands down to me. That is the story.
For sure about that. And, to think Jared Goff would be leading this squad definitely is a surprise. But it's not something that he's, not used to. He's done it before with the Rams back, I believe, it was in the 2016 era. I don't remember exactly those Super Bowls. But, you get Jared Goff bringing this team to it. You get a pair of rookies that are doing big stuff. And you, of course, have Eminem practically leading the charge. And I kind of think about it like this, okay? Think about the Lion King and everybody singing Kumbaya.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm comparing it to right there. But I mean,
First off, Lion King never sang Kumbaya.
I don't care.
Okay.
There's a Hakuna Matata.
Let's go ahead. Yeah, it was everybody sings Circle of Life. Okay, Hakuna Matata was Timon, Pumbaa, and Simba. No. It was Circle of Life. And look, you can ask your dad. Okay, I said it on 97.7. I didn't think Jared Goff would be the quarterback of the Detroit Lions a year after he got traded there. I just didn't think it.
Yeah.
At all. And Jared Goff has turned into one of these guys that we've seen so many of these pitchers be, like your Sonny Grays and type of baseball pitchers. You know, there's these guys that when they went to the major market, the Los Angeleses, the New Yorks, like they struggled. They weren't able to do it. And then they go to a smaller market. Sonny Gray goes to Cincinnati. You have Jared Goff now in Detroit, and they thrive. And, you know, that's where this whole Dan Campbell thing is coming into with this, is because, look, you know, there are some cities, you know, that you know, Nashville is one of these cities where, you know, as much as it's kind of becoming mainstream to move to Nashville, you have so many blue-collar people that work here that, you know, and I'm not just talking about, like, working in businesses. I'm talking about these people that are literally doing these jobs right now. Like, I'm sitting across from a Wendy's at a red light, and there's somebody at that Wendy's right now that once they leave that job, they're going to go down to Broadway or some other bar, and they're going to start singing because they're trying to make their way. And it's a hard-working town. Pittsburgh is that way. It's a blue-collar town. Dan Campbell fits Detroit. And that's the reason why the fan base is gravitated towards him, and why the players have gravitated towards him, is because he's got this blue-collar, serve, not be served mentality, and it is amazing to watch.
Yeah, because, like, correct me if I'm wrong, too, because he, like, before Detroit, he's never really had a head coaching job. This is really his first time being, like, at the helm of a program.
Yeah, because everybody, the moment that he was hired, they were like, this is dumb. Why are you hiring Dan Campbell? And then, you know, and then he has his introductory speech, and it's the whole, we're going to bite kneecaps, and we're going to do all this, where we're going to, you know, tear them down, you know, continue to fight over and over and over, which is, you know, and people thought, okay, well, this is cliche. Like, this guy really can't believe this. But that is who he is. Like, that is who he is. He's been an assistant head coach, but he's never been a head coach outside of an interim stint in 2015 for the Dolphins. Like, that was it. Like, you know, so he's had these opportunities where he's had these moments where he shows, hey, look, I could potentially be a head coach, but he had never truly been a head coach outside of a short interim stint. That was it.
I totally agree. And I kind of equate both of them. I equate Dan Campbell and Vrabel kind of as similar types of coaches, where, I mean, they are just those, you know, right up the middle, just like very hard, you know, face-to-face type of coaches. And I just want to know, why didn't it work for Vrabel over in Nashville? And also just kind of leading into the Brian Callahan conversation as well.
Well, and I think that those two play into each other, because I believe that the Vrabel is set in his way, okay? Or at this, I say, young age of being a head coach, he's set in his way. Okay, he's been in the Bill Belichick system for so long that it was look, this is the way I do things. Either you like it or you don't. And for, you know, decades, again, using that phrase because it's been over 20 years, that worked for Bill Belichick. And that's what Mike Vrabel learned from. And that's really not what the Titans were looking for, because they were wanting to progress the offense. And so you look at the way they drafted. We've talked about Tajay Spears on the air, you know, and the way that he is. That's what Brian Callahan is. That's the type of offense that the Bengals run, that the 49ers run. And obviously Rand Carthon came from the Panther or the 49ers. That's the reason why, you know, this connection's being made to that offense, and that's the offense he wants. Is he wants a style of offense that you look at the way that the Bengals are. Who's their RB1? Who's their number one running back?
Nick Chubb.
Joe Mixon.
Oh, yeah. Joe Mixon. Sorry.
I had him on my fantasy team this year, and I still didn't know.
Only think about the Browns.
Because he didn't do anything.
No, this is not about Cleveland and their choke job and Joe Flacco remembering that he's 732 years old in NFL years. This is not about that, okay? We're past that, okay? No, this is about Joe Mixon. the Bengals had one of the worst rushing offenses in the NFL.
It's crazy.
But it wasn't because of that. The reason is because they used Joe Mixon as a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
They were throwing him the football, which means those yards don't come as rushing yards. They come as receiving yards.
Yeah.
So any halfback screen or any type of screen that they run to Joe Mixon went to the passing category, not the running category. So when you look up their rushing yards, you're going, oh, well, this team, there's no way on earth they're going to want Derrick Henry to come back because they don't run this system isn't built to run the football. Well, the system is built for you to get your playmakers the football in space, and it doesn't matter if it's a running back, a tight end, or a wide receiver. That's what Brian Callahan brings into it. The biggest thing that he brings into this is there was this period of time, and it goes back to your 2015s and your 2014s, of Peyton Manning when he left the Colts and he went to the Broncos. And the whole jab or joke always about Peyton Manning was, guys, Peyton Manning is his own offensive coordinator. Like, he basically is his own guy.
Yeah.
Like, you're bringing Peyton Manning in, but you're bringing his offense in with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's going to call his own plays on the fly and all this other stuff. Brian Callahan was the guy that Peyton Manning was working with in the Broncos to come up with the whole game plan. So the whole thing is Peyton was, hey, this is the offense I like to run. Brian Callahan was the one implementing the offense with Peyton Manning. And if you know anything about the sheriff here, like his time in Indianapolis and his time in Denver, he was very particular about the plays and the offense and everything like that, and he trusted Brian Callahan, and they won the Super Bowl. Brian Callahan was with Derek Carr in the 1 or 2 seasons that Derek Carr was actually a good quarterback. He's the reason why Joe Burrow has been good. His laundry list of quarterbacks, Matthew Stafford is another one. His laundry list of quarterbacks that he's worked with, and they have been fantastic, goes to the reason why the Titans wanted to bring him in with Will Levis. When Joe Burrow has been healthy in Cincinnati, and I have to put that answer on there, when Joe Burrow has been healthy, the Bengals have had a top 10 offense in the NFL. They've had a top 5 offense in the NFL. It's the injuries that have really hurt them. And then you can even look at how Jake Browning did this season in replace of Joe Burrow. And he even showed signs of being a potential QB1.
Yeah.
Low ends, he's not like he's number 30, or he's not like he's number 15. Like he's like maybe number 33, like, hey, I'm going to be a backup again. And then whoever gets injured, I'm going to be in. I'm going to come in to replace them, which I think in the offseason is going to be a much bigger storyline that you need to pay attention to, not just your QB1s, but who teams are bringing in as QB2s, because look at this playoff that we're playing in right now. None of these quarterbacks, except for one, has played in every single one of their games, and that's Lamar Jackson. Crazy as it is, with his play style, he's the only quarterback that has played in all of the games for his team. That's because of the health issue, and that's why QB2 is becoming more and more important in the NFL.
Yeah, for sure about that. And Lamar Jackson, of course, a lot of concerns from him back when he first got into the NFL about, how much is this guy going to take and how many injuries he's going to have, by the time he's 30. And, I mean, he's now to the age where, he's been able to take this team and find some success, but he hasn't been able to take them all the way. What do you think the Ravens need to do to fend off against the Chiefs to keep us out of a Taylor Swift Super Bowl?
Look, I'm all for Taylor Swift Super Bowl. I'm going to let you know I am.
He's a Swiftie.
Mainly because no, I'm not a Swiftie at all. I'm just all about the fact that we could have Taylor Swift in one suite, Eminem in another, and somehow the person performing the halftime show isn't even going to be the biggest musical celebrity in the building.
Oh, my God.
That is wild.
Crazy. It really genuinely is, guys. Like, it is crazy to think. I, for one, and I got shot down on 3HL when I said this yesterday, that if Detroit makes it to the Super Bowl, you should let him just take over for Usher. You should just let him take over.
Yeah.
Just totally let him take over. And just be like, hey, look, Usher, I appreciate everything you've done, but I'm going to go out on the middle of this field. I'm going to spend 20 minutes just going through my entire catalog of music, and it is about to be the greatest moment in NFL history. I don't care about 2 Super Bowls ago when he was up there with Dre and Snoop and he just sang "Lose Himself." No. I need every song.
Yeah.
Okay, I need everything. I need the whole catalog. Okay, I need every bit of it. And so, I'm all about now to answer your question, run the ball, because the Chiefs still don't have a really good run defense.
Yeah.
And so you need to run the ball, and that's the great thing about the way that the Ravens have been is they have so many options at the running back position when it does come to running the football that they are going to be able to utilize that and then be able to turn around. Look, people also don't know about this. The number one tight end on the team is coming back in this game. He practiced all week last week, but he wasn't activated in this. And Mark Andrews is going to be available for this game as well. So they get tight end one back with this as well. So they get another receiver involved in this that's going to have to match up with those linebackers, that those linebackers are going to have to worry about when they're going up and trying to focus on this running attack. So now you got to deal with basically a triple option offense that also has the ability to be a deep ball offense, which is nowhere else in the country when it comes to football can this be done. That's where this Ravens team is extremely dangerous. That's the reason why I do think they're going to win it. I know it's hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes because it's PM15, but no, it's the Ravens offense is very difficult to stop.
For sure about that. Good stuff from Joe Hunk from 104.5 The Zone in Nashville. Joe, you do a great job every time we get you on. We always love having you. Let the people know where they can find you online and on socials.
Joe Hunk is everywhere that you need to look, man. That's where I always am, and always playing video games and all that during the snowstorm. My son and I went down the rabbit hole playing Gotham Knights.
Hey. Yes, sir.
Oh, he was all about some Gotham Knights, man. He wanted to be Robin. He wanted to be, he loved every bit of that, and so we got back into Gotham Knights playing that. So we're about to wrap that game up and go on to another one.
Good stuff, Joe. Enjoy that. Enjoy the games. Enjoy really everything that's going down because sports have never been this crazy before. So I'm all for it. We'll see you next time, Joe.
All right, bye. Love you. Mwah.
Good stuff. Joe Hunk, 104.5 The Zone in Nashville. Every single time he's got to hit us with the love you. And you know what? That's good. That's good. We're friends. We're close enough to where that's fine and it's not weird. Either way, we got to hop into a break. When we come back, hopping into a little bit of basketball news because I know the Bandyman's got some things to say about the NBA, possibly hitting on some Alabama basketball as they have a matchup against the Auburn tomorrow. And then, of course, getting into a little bit more of these playoff speculations on the other side here on the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Free air-chilled boneless chicken breasts and 4 juicy boneless pork chops with your order. omahasteaks.com/VSiN. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
4 teams are left in the NFL playoffs, all vying for Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. The AFC Championship game features the Baltimore Ravens against the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City in their 6th straight AFC title game. The Ravens an early 3.5-point favorite at home, minus 186 on the money line. Kansas City plus 156 with an over-under total of 44.5. Over in the NFC, the 49ers hosting Detroit. The Niners a 7-point favorite, minus 330 on the money line. Detroit plus 265, over under 50.5. For VSiN.com, I'm Tony Desiri, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
It's official. 47 years in a row, Ford F-150 is the best-selling truck in America. Come drive one and you'll see why. Hi, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to kickstart the new year in a brand new F-150. Choose from nearly 200 F-150s, and we think you'll find just the right one. Right now, we have financing as low as 1.9% for up to 72 months on 2023 F-150s, and lease payments as low as $389 a month. That's a 36-month lease with $62.82 due at signing, 0 security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. This offer ends January 31st. Call 539-9441 for complete details. At Woody Anderson Ford, we have nearly 50 2023 Explorers for you to choose from, too, with financing as low as 0.9% for up to 60 months. Plus, check out our over 40 24 Bronco Sports and a fresh truckload of the full-size Broncos that have just hit the ground. Come on over and let's get the new year rolling. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan at Sparkman. Hope to see you soon.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said,
If you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer here. Score big deals at Baumhauer's this football season and order from our Inflation Bites menu. Try our Buffalo Wing Special with fries and a complimentary beverage for only $9.99. And what's football without a cold beer? Our pitchers of Yingling and Yingling Flight are only $7.99, served all day, 7 days a week. And huddle up, football fans. Sign up today for our free NFL Pick'em contest at Baumhauers.com for weekly prizes. Baumhauers, legendary fun and legendary food.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
We cover all the SEC schools, including Western Union and Venmo.
I want that money!
You know, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hello and welcome back in to the Morning Blitz. John Abraham, Cam Cool alongside the Bandiman, Bailey Lowery.
Hey.
We've had a lot of fun. We've had one Mr. Joe Hunk from 104.5 The Zone on with us, talk a little bit about Tennessee Titans football, what they're going to be doing with new Brian Callahan as their head coach. And on from there, you know, we also look over at what the Browns are doing because, you know, I was thinking about the Browns. I said Nick Chubb. I meant, obviously, I was going some totally different place. The Browns, though, going after Tommy Rees to be their tight ends coach. So if you guys are wondering where Tommy Rees is going to be going, Cleveland might be the answer. But, Bandy, we got to remind the people that this wonderful programming is brought to you by the wonderful people over at Fleming Roofing and Restoration. The guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com to fill out your free quote today. And remember that Fleming always shows up. All that weather from last week probably did a little bit of a toll on your roof, so make sure you get the guys over at Fleming to go and check that out for you. You can also call into the show, 256-576-4.
97.7.
Do you try to jump the gun on me, baby?
A little bit.
You trying to jump the gun? You trying
Yeah,
to steal my thunder?
I try to synchronize the 4.
Oh, okay. I understand that. Everybody tries to
Gotta work.
synchronize the 4. I just don't understand it. Either way, Bandy, you are a little upset about what's going down in the NBA, and we want to get this one out of the way because obviously, you know, the people sometimes don't want to know about what's going on in basketball, but it's always good for them to hear because there were 2 big-time scorers last night, and now nobody's really talking about it.
Yeah, 2 big-time scores. I mean, well, they are talking about Joel Embiid because it's Joel Embiid.
Of course.
And what kind of makes me mad is that I feel like the MVP race might already be locked after this performance because that's kind of what all these award voters look at. It's just individual numbers over and over. And lo and behold, Joel Embiid dropped 70 last night. And people are drawing the comparison because it was also the same night where Kobe Bryant dropped 81 against the Toronto Raptors.
Wow.
The reason I'm saying don't be impressed by this 70. It's a big number, sure. 23 free throw attempts.
Oh, my gosh.
41 total shots. Just even going through the highlights, it just infuriates me how, like, you have a guy like Joel Embiid who is just an athletic monster.
Yeah, very talented.
7 feet tall. He can handle the ball. He can create his own shot. He is an athletic machine. So why is the entire game plan and why is his entire game plan now just boiled down to being a free throw merchant?
It's the NBA.
And being a foul baiter.
It's the NBA.
It is the most infuriating thing to watch in the world because that is all he does. He just goes to the line. That's it. You feed him inside. He does a couple dribble moves. He'll try to do like a reverse layup, call for a foul, try to bait a foul. Usually always gets it, and just racks up points that way. Everything that the guy talking heads accused Nikola Jokic of doing when it comes to stat padding, we're seeing it in prime time with Joel Embiid, and it's always on my dang TV screen, and it pisses me off because I want to see actual teams up there. I want to see the Bucks actually play right now. I would much rather watch the Clippers with James Harden on it because at least they're on a streak and they're at least learning to play team basketball better. It's actually clicking for LA. But the 76ers is just a one-note game plan, and it's so infuriating to watch. It's terrible basketball.
I can totally understand that. But, I mean, isn't this where the NBA is at right now? I mean,
yeah, sadly.
So, I mean, it doesn't change too much. I mean, if this is the way that they're going to allow the game to be played.
It's the 5 assists that mainly get me. He was not giving the ball up whatsoever.
No, I mean, sometimes you got to be the best, you got to be a little selfish with it.
And fair enough, yeah. I mean, that's what Kobe did in his 81 points. But the difference between that, he at least made 7 threes during that time.
Yeah.
And had only maybe one more, handful of more shot attempts. Let's see. 20 free throws compared to Joel Embiid's 23, and then 46 total shots compared to Embiid's 41. And even then, Kobe still made more.
No, I was also hearing
with 11 more points.
I was also hearing about another guy that put up some big points last night, and it was the two guys to really be talked about.
Karl Anthony Towns.
Karl Anthony Towns putting up some big numbers, and he's on one of those teams where you don't really pay attention to him, but kind of talk about his game plan that he had last night, and really how he was able to get I believe it was 61 points on the night.
62. It was his career high in another franchise high. I mean, like Embiid said with Philadelphia, but the kind of difference is he got to 62, but he only scored, I believe, 4 points in the fourth.
Oh, jeez. And
the Hornets were able to rout like a 16-point deficit to actually come out on top against Minnesota. And it kind of boils down to, I mean, I get feeding the guy with the hot hand. Like, you want to keep feeding the guy who is just on a tear right now. Like, it just seems like he can't miss. But their head coach put it pretty well after the press conference. Like, that shouldn't come at the cost of doing stuff that is right.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't very good looks. Like, he was trying to force a lot of shots to try to keep going on that hot streak, and that ended up leading to a lot more turnovers, not getting any kind of second chance opportunities. It came at the cost of a team playing better, trying to feed the guy with the hot hand, and most of the time that's not going to work well.
No.
With Joel Embiid, you can make it work because they've revolved their entire game plan around it. Kind of like how the Rockets did with Harden way back when they had him.
Oh, yeah. And
it worked for them, too, because Harden's a fantastic shot creator. As much as I don't like the guy, he can create a shot.
There you go, Bandy. You get your NBA talking, and you know what? Tomorrow we're going to be hopping into some of the college basketball talk, of course, as Alabama faces off against the Auburn Tigers. And that will be on our programming, so you guys can definitely listen to that when it's going to be at 5:30 p.m. And on top of that, not only does Alabama play, but also UAH as they go up against Montevallo on Zone 2. So definitely a good day for basketball tomorrow because, no NBA on the station. No NBA.
No NBA on the station.
It doesn't translate well. Either way, we got to hop into a break. When we come back, we're going to finish out this show, talk about a prodigy of a golfer from the Huntsville area, and close out this Tipsy Tuesday here in No Man's Land here on the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Philip Love of not only Eagle Insulation, now he represents Eagle Companies. Eagle through the years have added several companies to help individuals or builders through their construction renovation process. Eagle is known to represent quality, efficiency, and professionalism. Philip, I know you do insulation, but do you do masonry?
We do.
Do you do grading, erosion control, and dirt hauled off?
We do.
Do you do after paint, which includes shower doors, mirrors, shelving blinds, and bath hardware?
Yes, we do, Wes.
Do you do landscaping and irrigation?
Yes, we do.
So basically, Eagle can help you all along your process of building your house or doing renovations. So do you do plumbing?
We do not, Wes, but we can find somebody to do it.
Just give them time. They'll be there. Anyway, call Eagle Insulation at
256 888-755-1556.
Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Call Eagle today.
Thanks, Wes.
One of the best-kept golf secrets in the Tennessee Valley is Cherokee Ridge. Cherokee Ridge truly offers golf at a higher level with immaculate greens set against a spectacular Appalachian backdrop. This 18-hole championship course takes every advantage of rolling hills, whispering woods, lakes, and streams. Interested in becoming a member? Their membership plans feature affordable options for couples, families, and individuals. Book your tee time today, 256-841-4551. Cherokee Ridge. Championship quality, affordable prices.
Orthopedics. You're thinking bones, muscles, and joints, right? Well, what else comes to mind? Maybe your spine, therapy, or an arm cast? What about sports medicine? What do you think about when you hear that? Are you thinking about the largest orthopedic group in the state, caring for the most student athletes in North Alabama? Or about the fact that they are teamed up with the state's largest hospital-based sports medicine program to provide care to more schools in North Alabama than any other group? If you are, you have TOC Sports and Huntsville Hospital Sports Center on the brain. If you're not, you should, because Huntsville Hospital Sports Center and TOC Sports have partnered for more than 2 decades to establish a state-of-the-art team of certified athletic trainers and orthopedic specialists who successfully continue to meet and exceed the sports medicine needs of schools, athletes, coaches, and parents in our community. Committing to kids, committing to community, committing to care. That's Huntsville Hospital Sports Center and TOC Sports.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
What's better than 2 end-zone sports bars?
3 end-zone sports bars.
And we have you covered with our original location on University across from Red Lobster, in Jones Valley on Cecil Ashburn near Carl T. Jones, and our newest location in the Midtown District on McMurtry Drive opposite the Target Plaza. All locations feature the NFL Sunday Ticket, Tuesday half-price burgers, and Wednesday $1 jumbo wings all day long. You're never far from the end zone. End Zone Sports Bar.
Sitting here with Mark Kent of Southern Fidelity Mortgage Group of Huntsville. Mark, do you help pre-qualify people?
We pre-qualify people all the time, Wes. As a matter of fact, I love having them coming in here because when they come in and they pre-qualify, they can leave my office knowing exactly how much they can buy and have no worries.
Mark, tell me about your rates and pricing.
Well, Wes, this is something we're really, really proud of. Long story short is, I love being able to provide the best pricing in town. Honestly, I cannot tell you the last time I lost a deal to either rate or pricing, something I'm very proud of.
So what all financing options do you have, Mark?
We do several different things. If you're purchasing a home, we can handle the purchase. If you're wanting to refinance your home, of course, rates are at the lowest they've been in the last 3 years. We do a lot of refinancing. If you're building a home, we can handle the entire process from breaking ground to the final close.
Do you sleep with your phone?
Wes, if you want to reach me, you can call me at my office phone, which is 256-562-1000. But always remember, I sleep with my cell phone at night. That number is 256-656-5936.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find them online at ChapmanCommercialRealty.com.
Hello and welcome back in. Johnny Ram Cap Cool alongside the Bandiman Bailey Lowery here with you on the Morning Blitz. It's been almost an hour and I still have yet to talk about the Bills playoff history. Forgive me and my forgetful mind.
Well, you kind of did. Well, we touched up on it in the first segment.
We touched it for a second. Just saying that they were good at one point. They made it to a few Super Bowls and they never won one. But they have I just want to talk about it. Not today. I'll talk about it either tomorrow or Thursday, maybe next week, maybe next month. I have no clue, okay? It's just going to happen whatever happens. Either way, we got to talk a little bit about Nick Dunlap, Bandy, because some history was made, and this is a big-time thing for a hometown hero. Although, you look at, I was thinking when I first saw this guy, okay, John has talked about him in the past, and I was wondering where he even went to school here in Huntsville. He was homeschooled in high school. And then he goes to Alabama to play golf. And then he goes on, plays in a few tours in the PGA, and he finally wins one. And he becomes the first amateur to win a PGA Tour event since Phil Mickelson back in 1991. And he's only the 7th amateur winner since 1945. And the 3rd since 1957, okay? And he was able to end with 2 under 70 to finish at, 29 under 259 and break the tournament scoring record since the event switched to a 72-hole format in 2012. This is just big stuff, not only for, golf to see, such a young and up-and-coming star, but also just for the city of Huntsville just to be able to, have something to root for like this, especially because, you think about everything else that's going on in sports. There's not too much to be happy about, all right? Obviously, Alabama drops one.
Well, there's plenty to be happy about if you're a Detroit fan.
Well, if you're a Detroit fan, and we know there's a few of them that are definitely happy around this area. But for the majority, talking about, oh, well, Alabama, they didn't make it. Oh, well, Alabama's basketball team, they don't look amazing. They look great, I will say. They do look great. They're not amazing yet. And there's a lot to be worked on with that squad, and I can't wait to see that happen. But for Huntsville, for Alabama right now, getting this type of news, getting this type of win from Nick Dunlap, it's huge. This kid's 20 years old. He's a sophomore at Alabama. He's young, and he's doing stuff. And for this city, it's huge. And for the state, it's huge. And just for the whole southern region, it is gigantic because, this is just a huge thing for a guy of his age, of his caliber, to be able to achieve at such a young age. And I got to say, I bet John, he was supposed to hop on with us, I will say, but he's down in Orlando. He's at like a convention or something like that. Golf Con, something like that for Cherokee Ridge. So we'll wait to get him on later on, maybe talk a little bit more about this story, because for once we finally had something to talk about in golf.
Look, it's fun to root for this. It's fun to root for this guy because not only, again, getting that PGA Tour win, absolutely phenomenal, but it's also, he's just been on a tear in the amateur tour just in general.
Yeah.
Like any kind of amateur tournament really going on, you can kind of go through the leaderboard, and at some point he's probably won some of these tournaments, and all while doing this at Alabama, playing for Alabama and setting school records over there as well.
Yeah, and the saddest thing is, though, out of this, he doesn't get any of the 1,500,000, whatever the freaking number is. It's a big number. Let's just know it's a big number.
1.5 million.
Yeah, and he gets none of that, and instead it gets split between the next few. In that it's supposed to be like a tiebreaker. I don't know. They throw it at the next 2 guys or 3 guys or whatever like that. They split it between them because he's still in college. He can't take that money if he's doing NIL stuff. It's just a whole complicated thing that makes me just think, I was just like, come on.
Yeah,
come on, just give the kid some money.
It's just that amateur status, and then if he were to forego his amateur status and then go pro, he wouldn't be able to play at Alabama anymore.
No. Which it's a whole lot of hullabaloo that we don't really care for. It's one of those problems that the PGA does have, where it's like, you should let your guys, be able to do a little bit of both. But I understand where they come from. You can't let the guys double dip. There's no telling how much he's going to make from NIL compared to how much he's going to make from these tours. He doesn't look too distraught about it, though. This kid is a stud. He's able to win quite a bit, and I think moving forward, he's going to have a very bright future, full of plenty of wins and plenty of money, plenty of greenery.
Same. It's a tough position to be in because, clearly, you're good enough to play on the tour. Clearly.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes that decision. Do I stay back and continue going in college, or do I just kind of do I strike while the iron's hot and go ahead and try to go pro?
I'm going to say stay in Alabama.
That's what I'm hoping.
Stay in Alabama.
Get us the national championship in golf.
Get a little bit of time, and switch on over to the PGA full time. Make your money. You're 20 years old. You got a lot of time left. Trust me. Either way, it was a fun episode, Bandy. It's a Tuesday, so it's a Tuesday. You get Joe Hunk on that brightens the mood a little bit. Going into Wednesday, though, it's going to be that much better. Talking about playoff football, talking about Alabama basketball, Alabama recruiting news. Drew DeArmond's going to be on with us. RJ White's going to be on with us from Sportsline.com. And, after this show, catch some great shows as well as the Tom Abraham Show and The Drive later tonight. That's what's coming up later on here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover